Ivan, knock knock.
Who's there?
Woo.
Woo what?
No, woo
Woo
hoo.
who? Woo who?
Ah,
I'm Spanish. I'm
is that
Spanish.
woohoo?
Let's start over.
It's our 10th episode. Double digits.
Yay!
Yay! High 10. High 10
Yay!
and welcome to everybody. Hi everybody. I'm JT and of course this is the other guy, Ivan
Hello.
Miranda. Yellow Ivan. Yes, he is rather yellow. He did put that's less
Dark
yellow,
eye.
but you're dark as. That's all right. We know your lovely face. I suppose I could try and change you around, but I'm not going to. All right, who have we got in the chat? Teresa is here. Thierry is here, but he's going for a coffee or getting a coffee.
Yes, he went for
Brian Vines, 3D Guzna, PRY3D, print it yourself. Hello,
we should wait for Thierry.
Yes, we should. All right.
Entire podcast we stop
Yep.
until he comes back.
All right.
Like we were waiting for you, like blaming him. That's why we didn't start.
Yeah.
Because you weren't here.
Brian's. Oh, he's here. Okay, we can start.
Okay, we can start.
That's lucky. Whew.
Yes. Imagine an entire hour.
Lol, indeed. Well, you know,
Like-
you're the sickest one here. Thierry has had the hernia
Yes.
operation, and he's
Yes.
back at home today, I believe, or maybe yesterday. Oh, go ahead, Brian. Brian's here now. We can go ahead also.
Yes.
That is excellent.
We were waiting for you. So-
you are well?
Yes, I think I'm having a cold or something like that, but I will take my usual approach. I won't mind. Like it isn't there. And the thing is that usually we have like 10 minutes or so before we start to arrange everything and speak and so. And I just came through the door, sitting here, and we are live. So
Yeah.
we didn't have time to speak or anything.
No, we haven't said
so-
boo to each other.
How was your week?
Yeah, my week was all right. I had some issues which we'll cover off on. Thierry's going home later today, apparently, from the hospital, according to the chat.
Whoa!
Miki Appa, namaste to you also. Welcome.
Namaste.
Yeah, it works sometimes, being sick. All right, so biggest thing that happened to me through the week. My 15 terabyte NAS decided to shit itself.
15
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what? How did you solve it?
I opened.
Have you solved it?
Yes, I have. As I was preparing it to return, I decided that if I took all the dust out, then that might help. There were so many giant clumps of dust in there.
Yes.
As soon as I took the dust out, powered on, it's been on for 4 days since.
So the thing is that it was so clogged that the air wasn't going
No,
in, so
it was
the
creating
heat
a
build-up
short.
stopped it.
I think it was creating a short.
The dust?
Yeah, dust absolutely will create a short. If you've got enough of it, and all the little particles are touching each other. Well,
depending.
okay,
depends
put it this way:
which kind of.
it's now working because
works,
it's dust free. 3D Guzna,
Okay.
it's a Synology 1515 plus. Yes, I am a Mac person. Ivan is a Mac person. Brian Vines is a Mac person. And yes, everything in Australia is trying to kill us, including the dust.
Including the dust.
It's not nuclear dust
You
though.
have metallic dust or something like that.
Yeah.
It's conductive.
Yeah,
Usually, dust is made of skin particles and fabric, and that's not conductive.
yeah, true.
How
Oh,
did that happen?
they've got construction going next door to me for the last couple of months. So that,
And you are arguing that they are doing the construction by bringing huge chunks of metal to the place and filing it with a file to create all that.
which
that
is
dust.
is
Okay.
much better than asbestos.
Yes, it is.
I'm sticking with my story, by the way.
Oh yes.
Okay,
Go
so
on. Squirrel.
you think it was
Go on.
heat? You think it was heat? The fans were open though. The fans
Yeah,
were.
but was there airflow?
Yeah. So in between the drives, you know, you got the push and the lift the latch and the drive comes
Yeah.
out. There was airflow. I could see dust there, but man, there were clumps on the drives themselves, on the motherboards of the drives.
Yeah, but the thing is, if there are clumps of dust stick to the hard drive, the air is not touching the hard drive, so there is no heat transportation between the air and the hard drive.
Yeah, but I mean, when I say clumps, I mean like euro coin size, or in Australia probably 10 cent, 20 cent piece. That size, but not the whole thing. It wasn't like an insulation bat pressed up against it, or you know when you know when you open the dryer and you take the lint out of the
I
dryer,
don't
it wasn't
I
that.
don't have.
Oh, you don't have a dryer?
Do
Okay.
do you know there is this thing about Spain, and I don't think there are many other countries that do this, but we have a very efficient way of drying our clothes.
Okay. What is it?
We hang them outside the window.
Ah, our body corporate regulations will not allow us to do that in our apartment.
But we have a special, every new apartment for the last 20 years have an area of clothing lines, which is open to the exterior, but is covered with things that don't allow it to be seen from outside.
Ah, okay.
So it doesn't make the building ugly.
Yes, understand.
But if you watch any new building, you will see a stripe of things in some place, and that's where the clothes are hanging.
All
And
right.
there is no new building that doesn't have that.
Right.
It's really efficient.
Good. Okay. Well, that's good.
So stick to your.
I'm absolutely sticking with my story. Yeah, squirrel. Absolutely.
Let's see if in an hour we can finish talking about your dust balls.
Yes. Let's not talk about my dusty balls. We've discussed my blue balls, and now we're discussing dusty balls. Yes, exactly. Then, so I've had the NAS fixed. Yes. Then
Yes.
then Sunday, this happened. So this is under my desk. All right. Now clearly there might be a little bit of dust.
Like anyone's desk.
Yeah.
We all have that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, yes. I'm a bit of a nerd, but I don't know what the volume. Actually, I know what the volume is like. Let me crank the volume up a little. Well, that's not annoying at all.
No, Brian says that birds can poop on our clothes, but they cannot because it's a closed space. Just the birds should have to crawl between the fins and enter the space, and I don't think they. I never had poop in my clothes. I think never.
No poop in the clothes. All right. Sorry.
No bird.
Sorry. That was the sound of joy again.
Oh yes, do it again, please.
I'll do the. If I press on the correct window, not. Well, that's not annoying at all. So that was one UPS. So that's a stack of UPSs. Okay.
Yes.
And the particular one, the one at the top with the big red screen. Yeah.
Okay.
That one every 3
color
minutes would go beep 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 beep, and I pressed the reset button. Beep beep beep, and then it went red, and then it went constant beep, and I said, I know what that is, and I don't think I'm going to be able to show it on the screen.
Are those lead acid based? But UPSs?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But that red screen in there, one of those icons is your battery's dead.
Oh, okay, but those use a standard 12-volt motorbike batteries.
So, yeah, it's bloody heavy. I can confirm that those are absolutely heavy. So anyway, what I ended up doing was, because there was a stack of them, I've always got a spare of something. I shut everything down. So 4 NASs, 5 computers, various hard drives and monitors and shit, and just unplugged from the back of one UPS, went into the back of the other one, turned everything on, and I was away. So I will get and turn the top unit off. So
Okay.
not yanking the
There
power
is,
out, because if you yank the
you
power out, it
cannot,
beeps because it thinks there's loss of power.
okay. And you cannot do, there is not a way of doing that live without switching off all the computers?
All of my computers are on a single rail, so
Oh.
yeah, not really.
No, but I know what can you do.
If I had
You can
an
build,
ATS, or automatic transfer switch, which I do have in the data center for my various rails, I could do exactly that. So I'd have input A,
I
input B. Yeah, go on, tell me.
I was going to suggest something much dumber and dangerous.
Okay. Oh, good.
If you search on the Wikipedia about a death cable,
Death
do you know
cable.
what that is?
I'm assuming it's when you intersect the cable with some form of knife, which takes the power straight away.
No, it's a cable with two male connectors.
Ah, okay.
So you could plug one
Death
output socket to the input of the other one,
Yeah, yeah.
doing it in the right position, because if you do it the other way, it's going to explode. You can check with a multimeter if you are doing it correctly, and then you could power one of the switches. I'm assuming that you have one of those, how do you say, those things with lots of sockets in it that you can plug to the...
Power board? Or
Yes.
power
You
board?
connect, I'm assuming that you have all your computers into a power board. So you can connect the death cable to the power board and to one of the UPSs that is working, and then unplug it from the UPS that failed. And that's what the only use that I know for a
Wow, all right.
death cable.
No, I don't have a power board, as it happens. I have a system called Ubic.
I know, I've seen it. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
so
If
it's a
somewhere.
rail with a live line.
Yeah.
You plug a... Oh, hang on.
Woohoo! The best thing, people, is that JT didn't hurt what I did there.
Were
He
you,
will have to.
were you looking at
he
my
will have-
ass? I bet you were. So...
That's how transparent I am.
Yeah.
Right.
So that little guy there plugs into the hot
Yes.
rail, and then how does that actually work? Can I do that with my fingers? I've never tried to actually activate it. Anyway, plug that into the rail, spin 90 degrees, and the little LED comes on. There.
Then you
So-
need to do a death cable that is male in one side and that connector in the other side. So you can plug to one good UPS and then to the rail, twist, and then unplug the bad UPS, and without switching off anything.
You're mad.
I did, you know that I did once, we had neighbors that did lose the power in their house. They were door to door. And we had communicating balconies. And so they did lose the power because the previous owner of the house didn't pay the bill. So they got cut off from the
Yep.
from the utility company. So I did a death cable and plugged it in one of my sockets and one of the sockets in their house. So they got power in an entire branch of their house. And that same day, I did put tape and a sign, and we did a barricade around the cable.
Yeah.
And that same afternoon, a friend of theirs came to visit, and he was an electrician. Can you imagine the expressions that he used to explain how many reasons he had for not doing that?
To not do that, correct.
Yes, it could have been a dentist or a postman. It was an electrician. Really funny.
Very good. Okay, so
Did you finish your story?
Yeah, I plugged everything in and turned everything on. Now, coincidentally, it's been quite hot here today, so I've had the aircon on and various fans and whatever. And
It's
the
already hot.
yeah, it was
You were
20.
in the.
It was 26 degrees today, Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Anyone that cares.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Someone work out the maths on
How many did you say?
26.
That- I'm going to say 91. 91 F Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Okay, so
Darwin cable. Yes, that's other. Yes. Rudy
um,
Gosner says
are each of
that's
the are each of the plugs fused separately? I don't think so. The rail will do 32 amps. I'm currently on a 15 amp circuit for that particular one. Who else? Oh, that 3D print guy is here. Welcome.
Hello,
78.8, he says.
78.8. Yes.
Thereabouts.
I think I'm going to make one dev cable and I'm going to put it in the background of one of my videos.
Yep.
And my engagement rate is going to explode.
Absolutely.
I will have thousands of comments that why do you have that?
Yeah, and 3D Guzner's calling it also they're called the Darwin cable.
Yes, that's a really good explanation of
Yeah.
what. Yes.
It's dead, Jim. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. So you were checking out my ass. I hope it looked good. Didn't make me look too fat as I turned to the camera. You know, it puts a couple of pounds on the old camera.
Yes.
Yeah. Ian's here. Welcome, Ian.
Hey.
All right. What else? So yeah, a couple of failures. UPSs are working again. Yeah, I know, but I can't pull up Spotlight and think without going squirrel all at the same time. My eyes would glaze over and it would be terrible.
Thierry says that he's an electrician and he was scared while I was wiring that bulb. It was not it wasn't plugged.
Of course, it wasn't plugged in. So okay, in theory, you've got alternating current, and if you
Yes.
plug two in,
Yes.
what actually happens?
No, but there is this thing. If you have two live AC outputs and you wire it in, you can do it right. If they are in phase with each other, you can plug it with the two phases right, and you can do it the other way around, ensuring that they are going to be completely opposite, and it will one of them or both will blow off.
Ah, okay.
But you can use a theory. Please confirm.
Yeah, he's already said
yes,
as long as they're both in
are
phase.
But how can you check if they are in phase? You can use a multimeter to check the voltage between the two leads in one and the other to see if they are in phase.
Okay.
But you have to have a nice enough multimeter that it is fast enough to realize that. Because if not, you might think that they are in phase, and boom! I should try that once. I have
hammers.
3 phases in
Hammers will work.
Yes. You know, the other day I had my cordless drill battery was I had 2 batteries for my one cordless drill, and one of them was dead, and the other one was good. And the thing is that if you power one dead battery into the charger, it doesn't try to charge it because it detects that the voltage is too low. But if you connect one battery to the other, it will give it a nice boost, raising the voltage level up to the point where the charger is going to detect that it can charge it.
So if the first battery is dead flat, you're saying?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
But if you try to connect them, it won't work because the tabs are recessed, so you cannot touch anything with them. So I used 2 screwdrivers to make a bridge between the 2 tabs of each battery and plugged it in. Like, I have them in here.
All right, you do that. Here's my other tools. Like, this is next to me. These are not IKEA. Oh, actually, they are IKEA, but they're not your standard shaped ones. They're actual normal things, not the ones you spin like this. I don't know why I have a drawer full of them, but I have a drawer full of them.
Full of what?
Allen keys. IKEA Allen keys. All right, yep, so you bridged.
Those are
yeah?
Yes, the thing is that what you need to do is to join the tabs like this.
Yeah.
but they cannot touch each other because they are recessed.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
So what I did is use 2 screwdrivers to put them between the tabs and connect them to each other. Another great use for screwdrivers.
Yes, of course. That 3D print guy, I don't think you should cross the streams, which was good. Brian, stop hammer time. Yeah, I think we're getting out of hand. we're well out of hand.
Kids, if there is any recess kids, it's probably already at.
Yeah,
don't try this at home.
It's
don't
midnight.
do anything that I do.
I suspect Kid Butt is asleep, or at least not there. Don't do that at home. Yeah, all right, I will do that. I'll update the description. Please do not do anything that you see on this at home. So
it should be a banner down here all the time.
Oh,
don't
totally.
do anything that we say. Don't do anything that like.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm preparing the next
squirrel. Remember that all of you talked to me about cap tubes the other day?
Yeah, about cap tubes. Yes, we gave you a hard time.
I thought that I bought 60 meters, but it seems that I only bought 8.
Oh, only 8.
Oh, and that it was not last. 2 nights ago, I was feeding the baby, and when she fell asleep, I started watching Twitter, as you may notice, because I like things.
Yes, I do know. And that's why I say good morning.
And then, yes, at my 2 a.m., yes. And I saw Chameleon 3D.
Chameleon 3D?
You know what it is?
Yeah, the 2 in, 1 out.
It's incredibly clever.
I haven't really gone for it, but there was a $49 beta program for their product. Give everyone a brief rundown while I pull it up. I'll find it.
The thing is that what they have managed to do is they have managed to make an add-on for 3D printers that will make your printer print with 2 different filaments at once without adding any motors. The thing is that you add to the frame of your printer a 3D printed part where they feed the filament through, which ends up going to your regular extruder. So you have 2 of those with 2 filaments running with 2 openings for the filaments, which end up in your extruder. So with the coverage of your existing printer, they managed to, with a friction pad, move the filament in one side and move the filament in the other side, so you can push the filament in one side or push the filament in the other side to the extruder, and the extruder that does the extrusion. So there is no additional filaments, and they have designed this to be an add-on for CR10s and I think a couple of other printers, and it's really clever. And they have made a prototype for only 2 filaments, but I reckon that with this design you can go for as many filaments as you want, as long as you have space in the frame of your printer. So it's really, 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 really clever.
Okay,
I think
I almost had it.
I don't think that nobody understood that what I explained, but yeah, they have a video.
That is literally why I'm trying to find a picture. I had it, then I closed the window.
In their website, they have a video, which I don't think they will mind that we show because we are
promoting.
Yes.
All right, let me go search Mr. Twitter because I know who they are.
What I think that is going to be good or bad for them is that I think it's really easy to replicate without buying what they are selling.
Right.
Because my order of cap tubes has like 95% of what you need to replicate the thing.
All right, so there's a picture. Can you describe what's going on here?
The thing is that I've seen it in another printer that has a standard Cartesian distribution, not a Prusa one like this one.
Right.
But the thing is that in this one, the green part in the carriage in the bottom.
Yep.
There is that green part that has a small red friction pad in there.
Yep.
So when you are printing and you want to switch filaments, the entire bridge raises up to the top of the printer, and moving the cartridge, that friction part pushes the filament in one of the two green tubes in the top.
Oh, okay.
In one of the, in those two tubes, there is two different filaments running through an open window. So your friction pad will move the filament out or into the extruder. So
we'll
we'll
put a link in the description.
Yes, I'm making gestures and you are showing a picture.
Yeah.
I should. I will try to. No, I will not try to do that.
We'll go back to you. Anyway, yes, chameleon, very clever.
The thing is, when the entire bridge raises, you have in the extruder that pad that touches an opening in that green part, so it pushes the filament and moves it in or out of the extruder, because both tubes end up in the same extruder with two different openings. What happens to the filament in the extruder is that if the extruder is here, you have two different filaments. One is in and the other one is in here. They have a Y connector in here.
Yes.
So by pushing one filament, you can push one filament, print with that filament, then that filament is retracted by that friction pad in the top of the printer, moves to the other one, pushes the other one in, and the extruder does the work. The only thing that you do with the friction pad is pushing one or the other filament into the extruder.
And then the extruder takes over.
Yes, you only need to move the filament the distance between the Y connector and the gears of the extruder.
Right, okay.
So.
Very good. And it's inexpensive by the sound of it.
There are no motors. The only thing that I think it's going to be a little bit harder to replicate with 3D printing is the Y connector, because you need really low friction, but you have the standard fitting of the extruder, a Y connector that receives the two filaments, and then two cap tubes to the top of the printer where those two green pieces are, where the filament is exposed, and the pad in the extruder and in the cartridge that will push one or the other. The only thing that you have to do is raise the bridge, press against one filament, take it out of the extruder, move to the other one, push the other filament into the extruder, and that's it. It's all G-code. G-code tubes and those three parts, the two exposed filaments and the friction pad on the cartridge.
Definitely going to find the video and post it in the link.
Because you didn't understand anything that I told you.
Well, it's complex. I understand the concept of what it's doing, but, you know.
Yes.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what everyone's saying.
It's mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, okay.
Yes, they have a video in their website.
Of course, and that's the link I will put.
Yes.
Okay. And you...
Boxes.
Yes, boxes. Let me go here. Let me go here. Let me go... I've got to make sure I got the right one. Did my very first Amazon Australia order. Okay, so Amazon.com won't ship to Australia anymore because they're pushing Amazon.com.au. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
So these particular containers, which look like every other, plastic container, this particular 5-litre one, in conjunction with some PTFE tube and couplings, can produce a really, really inexpensive rep box. Now, this has got nothing to do, this is nothing against pooch or anything like that. This is purely, and I've been researching this for ages. I've had the files on my computer for yonks. So, literally, as you can see here, you print all the bits, bearings, whatever.
What was because I've seen the rep box keeps your filaments tidy, but what's exactly the point of it?
You're putting 5, I think, filaments in one box, all coming out. So all of the filaments are coming out of PTFE tube. It's sort of it's a neat way of feeding into your MMU.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. Ah, okay.
whether it's a pallet or whether it's um, a Prusa. All right, get car defog bags. Salma boxes, yes, they'll work also, Guzna. But in addition to those little bits to make all of this, stuff happen, I had to get the mandatory. If I can click here, silica gel
Okay.
bags. Many, many.
Yes.
I don't know how these got through customs and why I'm not in handcuffs at the moment, but because they certainly look
Actually,
they
I'm
certainly look
joking.
suspect when you cut the
Yes.
packet open. Yes, I've got a bunch of those as well. It's an experiment. The containers were half price. They were $4 each. You
Do you
know,
know I have a really good strategy to keep moisture out from your filament?
don't open it.
No, spin the spool really quickly.
Okay. How quickly? So someone actually now has to someone now has to calculate the speed at which you have to spin the spool to make sure that the humidity doesn't impact it.
My one of the CR10s has been printed continuously for the last 10 days, day and night.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Anycubic Mega i3 gave up after 12 batches of tank threads, 1 day each.
Right. Okay.
So my filament doesn't get any humidity.
Yes, I understand. Get dehydration bags from Aldi. Yeah, that's a thing. That's good for storing filament certainly. But I was thinking
I
about putting.
do you mind if I do a mystery unboxing?
Yes, of
Squirrel.
course, squirrel. While you're getting your boxing, I was going to put
Yes,
multiple of
please.
these things together because I've got a pallet coming, or pallet 2, whatever, pallet 2 Pro.
Palette
So,
Palette Plus Pro 2.
yeah, two
Plus.
extra super duper thingy. So, yeah, I wanted to have
Unboxing.
multiple filaments. Okay.
Something that right now I bought this like a year ago or something like that.
Yep.
I haven't opened. I'm a bit like you.
Like me, yes.
I buy things and I don't even open the boxes.
I love it
And
when
now,
it comes and I go, what the hell is this?
well, yes, once I open it, you will see why this is of no use for me now,
Okay.
or almost no use.
Guzna, do you use PVC pipe from edge to edge? I've also seen that design where you print a cup that holds the PVC pipe in each end and you cut holes and whatever. Need to get a dehydrator. Yep, but the wife was not happy with me for using. Yeah. Teresa, when was the last time I printed anything? 2 weeks ago.
That's
Don't be
harsh.
harsh.
A bit harsh, yes.
Don't tell me you got a dehydrator.
Yes.
Why did it take a year to come?
Because,
Oh no, you bought it a year ago.
you know,
You've had it.
it has been in that envelope, in that wrapping
Yep.
for the last year. The thing is that I watched a video from Joel Telling
Yes.
talking about his, and he was right. You have to avoid your filament moisture in your filament and so on. But the thing is that he used lots and lots of different filaments, different colors, different materials, and he's not printing with all of them all the time. I only print with one kind of filament, one color in every printer.
Yes.
So
Oh, no,
once I
two.
open a filament, it goes through the right
PLA
away.
and PETG.
Yes,
That's
I
both
don't have that
kinds.
issue. But once a spool goes in a printer, in a week I
Oh, it's gone.
remove an empty spool.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No, I do understand. And the other thing is that Joel's house is climate controlled. So when he did his spool rails, people asked in the comments, well, why don't you wrap your spools up? He said, I've got climate control. There's no or controlled humidity in this house, so therefore I don't have to worry about it.
yes, and that's what I don't have here, climate control.
Yes, you do. You've got maximum and minimum. That's all you got.
I have, I have a very complex system that clones the exact weather that is on the street.
Ah, good. So you mirror it. It
Yeah,
could it
I'm
could be
mirroring.
it
Yes,
could be
I'm
all the
mirroring.
holes in your walls and doors.
Yes, yes. Yesterday I did took the measures of the door because at least I have to cover the huge holes that are on the door to the street because I have like an opening that is like 2 square meters. If you put the entire seam around the workshop door, it's like one entire square meter open to the street.
Okay.
It's like being outside.
Wow. Okay.
And rats also rats,
Small squirrels.
small squirrels. Yes.
Yes. Very good.
So should we talk about the elephant in the room?
Which elephant? The one that's on my screen?
Yes.
Okay. We can talk about that. Murph,
Ta-da!
2019.
There.
There
Yes.
was a slight fiasco with the initial
Yeah.
announcement of
Yes.
Murph 2019. As the story goes, there are three parties involved, three individuals. My understanding is that two of them don't work for the company, CME. One does.
They did work.
Yeah, they did.
As,
They don't now, though.
okay.
I may be mistaken. Again, this is how I understand it. The gist of it is, CME created a new web page, new Twitter account. The handles were close but not quite right, and it caused a bit of confusion when they announced dates and locations. The community went a bit ballistic with excitement initially until someone's gone, no, this isn't right. Anyway, an email came out that explained it all. I don't have the email at hand, but the gist of it is the two guys that normally run it, who didn't announce it, said, we've been slack, we haven't announced things. The third party decided better to book the venue and the dates and announce it and then work out the details later. So,
Okay.
I've registered my ticket, the free ticket.
Me too.
Good. We're big spenders, you and I. We spend $0
Yes.
each so far.
I would have paid for the ticket even if I don't know how am I going to pay for the trip and the expenses, but
Yeah, look, I've got you. I've pretty much committed to it since the last one.
yes.
Um,
Yes, me too.
um,
But I don't think they are going to let me fly if I don't pay the ticket and that kind of stuff. But
yeah, sure. As Brian's saying, multi-Murph.
multi-merge.
Multi-Murph. Not multi-material, multi-Murph.
It will be like really weird if there were two Murphs in the same venue, in the same hall,
Well, that
with no division, but up to here is this one, and from here to here is this other one, like with a line, only a line in the floor.
but that would be at least the same time, the same location. My concern was I was going to go to the wrong Murph.
Yes. Like right there,
Yeah.
only one guy,
Yeah.
guy with like a maker bot,
Yeah.
the original one,
Yeah.
alone, and you there.
Yes. Oh, how pleased would my wife be? We're having the conversation at the moment. She hates flying, like loathes flying, right?
But she can go by sea.
Yeah, if she leaves now,
Yeah, but there's patience or fear.
yeah,
You have to. If you don't have that, it's you have lots of patience or lots of fear, but you cannot have like the both sides of the story.
yeah. So anyway, we literally had the conversation today. Are you sure you want to go? Because I'm thinking, well, it's already going to cost me $3,000, which I can hardly justify, right?
Yes.
And if she comes at $6,000, which I really can't justify, right? Anyway, good thing is that she's too concerned about the cat being lonely while we're away, the kitten,
Okay.
that she's happy to not go. She said, how long are you going for? I said, maybe 4 days. Now, 4 days is plus 2 days travel each side.
Yes.
So it's,
But I think if I cross the pond, I will have to invest more time there to be able to justify it. Try to do some collabs with other YouTubers.
Yep.
But I cannot go there for only. I've gone. The only time that I've been in the US has been for only 5 days.
Yep.
That's a lot of traveling and money for just 5 days.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I went 3 times in 1990, and each one was 5 days.
In the same year.
Same year. Yep.
Okay. I went like two years ago, and 5 days is the exact amount of time to be jet lagged 5 days there, and again be jet lagged 5 days here.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last day, in the last moment, you say, now I'm used to this time zone.
Yes.
And then you get into the plane and go back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, yes. we should absolutely make a kind of holiday of it, Guzna. It does make sense.
Yes.
I've got work commitments that I've got to sort of get around, but yeah, that's my issue to solve. So yeah, so Murph, so
YouTuber work, but
Brian, are you likely to go to Murph? I don't know what your position is on this one, actually.
He's near than us.
Well, yeah, he's in Texas, so he's actually quite near. Yeah, my passport expired 2 months ago.
But where is the nearest airport to Murph?
Technically, it's South Bend, which is airport code SBN. South Bend International Airport. Now, I don't know if they fly Cessnas in there, or whether it's, but I think the logical
like a dirt strip and a shed, and that's the entire airport.
A compacted earth strip.
Oh,
yeah, fancy with candles for lighting down the sides.
Like a plane is coming.
Yes, Guzna, Chicago, which is where I was about to say. The logical is Chicago, then road trip it with some other buggers who are making their way there.
Road trip.
Yeah, exactly. So
the thing that I was thinking is that go to the nearest international airport where everybody is going, try to meet up with you and other people there, make a road trip to Murph, and from there try to do other things after the thing. And
yeah, no, I think you're right. Because what I said to my wife was, you can go to America with me, and you'll be bored shitless, because what are you going to do, right?
She could stay in Chicago.
Yeah, I know, but she's fearful of gun violence, and Chicago's not the place to be.
No.
Anyway, and then I said, okay, we'll go visit Ivan, and she goes, all right, we'll do that. So Spain is more likely for her than America.
I've never seen a gun in the wild ever.
No, is that right?
And I've lived in a part of the country with terrorism for almost the first 30 years of my life.
Right, okay.
And not even then I've seen ever a gun in the street.
But you've held one that someone gave to you to hold?
Yes, but that was in a private home.
Yep.
By yes, there's completely different.
Yep. Oh, totally. Martin, 3DP Iceland, took his cat with him apparently when he went somewhere.
Okay. Cat people.
Oh wow, Brian Vines. Chicago was the gun violence capital of the USA.
Okay.
Dan, 3D printing dad, Mr. Careful Gamer. His son was at a choir meeting, a festival, and there was gunshots outside the place he was staying. A bullet came through the window. So, he was absolutely beside himself.
But how? It's incredible, and they still think that having guns is a kind of. A good idea.
Sorry, Guzna.
Yes.
Cat the YouTuber, not his cat.
Ah,
Cat the dental technician.
okay.
Right. That makes sense. Sorry. That would have been funny though. We were talking about cats and Lisa, my wife, staying back to look after the cat. And then I read it and took a squirrel. That was squirrel cat.
A squirrel cat.
Squirrel cat.
Oh my god.
That, that is quite
Ah,
funny. Uh,
yes, it is.
okay. All right.
Ah,
So Murph, I'm going. I'm now staying longer apparently.
I will say that I'm hopefully going. I think my wife points are already arranged. I now need to make sense of the expense.
Yes.
That's the only thing that I need to do now.
Yeah.
But yes,
Kitten, not squirrel. Kitten.
kitten.
Yeah. Very true.
Yes, yes. So, Murph.
Murph.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes.
so
I already.
it's been resolved. It's happening March 29th next year. So
Yes.
fingers crossed.
It doesn't coincide with any birthday or anything. It's kind of the perfect moment.
For me, it is possible that it's the Australian Grand Prix because this
Well,
year it was the Australian Grand Prix, which is across
and
the
where
road
you
from
want?
my house.
Really?
Yeah, literally across the road.
I will have to go and visit you then.
Yeah. But we don't go. What we do is we go the maybe the Thursday and the Friday, but the
Ah,
Saturday
okay.
and the Sunday for the qualifying and the race, watch on the big screen. You get every
Yes.
angle, you see it properly, you hear the whatever's going on. No, and it's too hard to go. "Nyum."
Yes. And the one thing is if I go and visit you, or when I go and visit you, my wife is not going to go with me
Okay.
because
I'll send you some photos.
yes, please do.
Actually,
I
my
will.
my
I
my
will so,
father has a photo of a huntsman, big one, nice one.
yeah.
He puts a jar over the top, but to show how big it is, he puts retractable tape, measuring tape,
Yeah.
under the
Like,
glass to show how big the thing is. He's got a photo
but
from when
those
I was a child.
are those poisonous?
Uh, Technically, yes, but their fangs are so small they can't penetrate human flesh.
Okay, so they are not dangerous.
Then
Apart, apart,
poisonous but not
apart from the
dangerous.
heart attack.
A heart attack, correct.
Yes. I have lots of spiders in here, but those are dust spiders that even if they are really big, the legs are really thin and they are not scary.
Like daddy long legs, we call them.
Yes, and the thing is, when I was a kid, we had a wood stove, and we did.
Oh, and you used to put the fresh logs in there.
Yes, but the logs that we picked from the forest did have spiders, and
Of
we have
course.
spiders at home in the corners. And the thing is that one night I was in bed and I did something itched in my face, and I did like this. And when I woke up in the morning and went to the bathroom, I had a dead spider in my face, like in here. Or
Oh,
yes,
oh my God. Okay.
but still, as you have seen, if one spider falls in my arm, I jump like
Oh,
a
you freak out, yeah, on your video, yeah. That was funny.
yes. Self-preservation.
Oh, totally. Let me just have a look at it, well, because we're coming up to time. I just want to see which is more important out of all these things. Oh, okay. So here's something that I've been thinking about for a long, long time, and based on my dust conversation. How ridiculous is this, everybody? A wine fridge for bottles of wine.
No. But there is something even weirder in that.
In this picture?
No, in the title of the picture,
Cyber cool.
because that thing is big.
Yeah. But
Do you know?
this is a really economic rack.
No, because it is thermoelectric.
Which means what?
That instead of using a gas compressor to cool like a regular fridge,
Yeah.
it uses Peltier cells,
Ah, okay.
which are extremely inefficient. Extremely inefficient. If you put there a Raspberry Pi, the thing is not going to be able to work against it.
Okay. So my theory was, up until you said it, with the thermoelectric version, so maybe not the thermoelectric version, that's why it's less than
No.
$500, is getting a wine cooler fridge and rack
Yes.
mount some stuff. It keeps it at 20 degrees or whatever you like, right? If you try and buy a rack, even half rack, 12 RU, whatever,
Yes.
cooled, man, you're up for big bucks.
But the thing is, how much heat transfer can that make?
Yeah, but if everything's at a constant 20, 22 degrees, how much heat is it going to generate? This is the questions I'm asking.
I think it's not going to be able to cool it down.
I don't need it to cool it down. I need it to keep it
But
constant.
the thing, I will give you the rule. The thing, if you buy a fridge that is like if it uses 1 kilowatt hour a day, for example, the COP, the coefficient of performance of a fridge is usually 3.
Right.
So you have to multiply that by 3, and that's how much heat it's going to be able to take out of the
okay.
fridge. So 4 kilowatts is 400 watts, 10 hours. So it's going to be, if you put something that uses more than 150 watts combined, it's not going to be able to refrigerate it.
Okay. Thierry said, that's good price for a temperature-controlled, dust-free environment. It's not unreasonable for my job. So I'm talking about NASA's, all right? So I'm talking about, I literally have 4 NAS things here.
Yeah, but how much power do they use combined?
I've got everything I described before, NASA's, 5 computers, hard drives, whatever, on a single circuit, all right?
Yes,
I've got the equivalent at the data center, 1 amp. Because I've got 2 rails that says 1 amp.
So that's 240 watts.
240 volts, watts, yep.
Yeah, that's twice what a fridge can handle in terms of heat. I've done a pretty shitty math, but it's a ballpark figure.
Okay, so Ian said all the things I'm talking about do generate heat.
Yes.
Therefore, the cooler wouldn't keep up.
No, in that particular one has a COP of maybe 10%, 0.1 COP, because
I'm so glad I asked for this this question.
Yeah, if you see something that is thermoelectric and says cooler, run from it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Run.
Yeah, your description, understand.
If you buy one of those camping coolers that is thermoelectric and plugs into your car socket, 12-volt socket, it can lower the temperature. I think the maximum that I've achieved is 11 degrees below room temperature.
Yeah.
So
okay.
if it is 30 degrees outside, your drinks are going to be 20 degrees.
Okay.
So I've suffered. I have one of those, and I've worked a lot with Peltier cells.
Yes.
And they are much better heaters than coolers.
Oh, okay.
In heating mode, the coefficient of performance is above 1.
Okay.
Because they take heat from the cool side. By the way, do you know what a Peltier cell is?
No.
It's really simple. You have a plate, a kind of a square or a rectangle,
yep.
with 2 leads. You apply DC current to the 2 leads,
yeah.
and it extracts heat from one side and moves it to the other one.
Oh, okay, right.
It's super easy. So what you do usually is you put a small heat sink in one side, in the cool side, a big heat sink in the hot side, and fans in both sides.
Okay, yep.
So it removes heat from the inside, it moves it to the outside. But the thing is that to do that operation, you add heat to the Peltier by the usage of current inside it, power
Yes.
inside it.
Yep.
So it adds up to the existing heat in the plate. So the coefficient of performance is really appalling.
Okay. All right. Well, won't be doing that.
Hey, we might have learned something today.
Sure.
Like a one tiny practical.
Oh, absolutely.
No death cables, no.
No death cables. But there was another highlight to the week.
Ta-da! Oh, strap waffles!
Oops.
I will have to find those because I'm sure that my wife is going to love them. Strap waffles. What's the thing with the strap waffles? And
I don't know, but it became a thing. So I said,
it's like why I use red in my prints.
yeah.
Why is strap? It's.
Oh yeah, Stroop. There it is. That's another one. Do you understand? Oh, no context. Brian saying Stroop. There it is, which is a song with the word. It was actually Shoop or something else instead of Stroop.
Ah, yeah, he did something on Twitter or something.
Did you see mine? My one. There we go.
Oh, it was yours. I don't know.
Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot.
Yes, that one.
Baby, shoot.
Okay. Anyway, enough copyrighted material. We don't want to take down.
That's fair use.
Oh yeah, I suppose. So I did 20 seconds of that, which sort of was half funny.
Yes.
What's the chat saying? Mine was great. Thank you, Brian. It was worth the little bit of effort.
Did you do it in Premiere?
Nah, Photoshop.
The Photoshop video editor, yes.
Yes, it has it, and it's instead of opening up Premiere, if I need to convert something from .mov to MP4, I'm more than likely to just open in Photoshop, save as, or generate render. It's using the same.
You can do it
It's using the same render engine. QuickTime is terribly slow. It's horrible. And I used to have QuickTime 7 Pro. I've got the serial number, but you can't type it in anymore. They've disabled QuickTime 7 Pro. Bastards.
Yes.
Anyway, your Woolies didn't have them. Okay, Teresa, Woolworths, our supermarket. That's where they came from because Wellbot had suggested that Woolworths had the Stroop waffles, and I sent my wife on a mission, and she bought 10 packets. 10 packets of 4. I wanted one.
Yes.
Anyway, and someone rightly pointed out they must have been on special, and that's why I ended up with 10, because a woman cannot resist a sale.
That's sexist.
Yes, Guzna, QuickTime is Mac. Teresa's local Woolies is shit. Maybe Aldi would have them.
Aldi, we have that in here.
That's where I bought my first 3D printer, Aldi.
In a supermarket?
Yes, I kid you not.
Not online?
No.
No way.
Yeah. Angus did a video in 2016, and then I saw that when I was researching, and Aldi were selling the equivalent of a One How i3 Duplicator Plus with the touchscreen, which Brian is familiar with, of course, which is his Monoprice Monday vids. Yeah, Cocoon Create Touch. So I bought one, and then the next year I bought 2 more from a supermarket. So the Australian wholesaler, once a year, allows Aldi to sell them with the filament and whatever, because they have no supply chain. So it's just bizarre.
Yeah, there is a local 3D printer manufacturer here in the Basque Country, but their printers are terrible, and they sell them in the biggest local chain of supermarkets.
Okay.
You have them they're in a table, and
yeah, well,
but they are terrible.
Chris Riley, a YouTuber, he went to one of his stores and he bought a Wanhao duplicator. It was a big box store, but I don't think it was a supermarket though. It might have been a micro center or something, but the popularity is there.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Well,
was just in Australia, the Aldi offer. Lots of Germans were pissed that they couldn't get printers in Aldi, Germany.
that happened.
Yeah. So anyway, um,
Well, I will have to leave you
yes, I know. That's
soon,
that.
so I
That's
think
why.
we
That's why I
should
said
put
because I'm looking at the time.
um
Um,
yes.
and of course we're on
So,
summertime now, so it's now 12:30 a.m.
but
for me.
you know that what's going to happen is that in like 2 weeks we are going to switch to winter time,
So that's another
and
hour.
yes,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was going to happen soon, but I figured it would.
yes,
But yeah, so it'll be 12:30 start for me.
yeah, but 12, that's super
That's
late.
now. That's right now. Because your clock is going to go back 1 hour, yes?
Yes,
Mine went forwards 1 hour. So
and
there's
I
now.
cannot do it.
No,
I
that's
cannot do
fine.
it sooner because
You're at
I have,
work.
yes.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll be playing
I
Xbox
think
up until then anyway, so.
I could do it. Maybe I could do it before work.
No, it's fine.
It will be no because no. Then you no. But okay.
What
Okay.
what
Okay. Okay.
what it will mean is that we get more of the east coast of the US coming up to central availability.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
pretty much Brian's the only dedicated one, or the only lunatic.
That imagine in a few years, like we being really big in podcast only in Australia because of the time zones.
Yeah.
Like I will go on holidays to Australia and everybody's going to know me there, and nobody will understand why in the rest of the world.
Yes, Teresa. No Aussies will be watching the stream. Brian, you're dedicated to appearing in the chat of this particular stream.
Yes. By the way, Brian, you won the image contest for my project.
Oh, the image. Ah,
Yes. I probably will use more than one, but he won with his. I don't know how it's going to work, but I will try that one for sure.
yeah, good.
Yes. Oh, okay, because it is a school night. Okay. Okay, I will have to.
Yep, no problems.
To leave now.
So let me
should
get
we?
this ready here. Let this get ready. We're saying goodbye to everybody. Thank you once again for everybody that came and participated. Thank you, Ivan, of course.
Thank you, JT.
No problem. I will mute.
Thanks to you all.
And we will do this all again next week. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.